Thanks so much for being here today. As you know, and many people in the audience know, we're reprising a fireless fireside chat that we did at Air Force Space Pitch Day back in November. I ran into General Goldfein, the Chief of Staff of the United States Air Force, this morning, and maybe I was being a little bit too confident, but I said, hey, I think that we did such a good job together at Space Pitch Day that Elon and I got invited back for a much bigger audience, higher stakes and everything like that. And General Goldfein looked at me and went, no, JT, you guys are going to do it until you get it right. So we're going to talk a little bit today about innovation. For those of you in the audience that nothing that was introduced about Elon made it to the prefrontal cortex, and you're like, I still don't know who this guy is. You may remember him from the movie role in Iron Man 2, or the TV show The Big Bang Theory. You may remember him, if you're old like me, when you used to have to do dial-in modems. You may remember how PayPal actually worked over a dial-in modem.
Yeah.
And if, just in case you've had your head in the sand for the last decade, you absolutely have to know him for space exploration technologies. SpaceX, a tremendous partner of the United States Air Force in the space business, and for Tesla. So for just for grins, this fastest growing auto company on the planet, most amazing capability. And when Elon pulled up, he and his entourage in 3 different Teslas this morning. How many Tesla owners do we have in the audience? Stand up if you're a Tesla owner. All right, very nice.
The secretary is.
So, Elon, you and I have talked about whether the Air Force is the most innovative service. The Department of the Air Force now, the last time we interviewed, it was just the Air Force. Now we're the Air Force and the Space Force as part of the Department of the Air Force. Most of those people who stood up in the front row, we have a lot of first adopters here in the front of the audience, apparently, or maybe those are the folks that just make the most money. Who knows? Okay, so again, today's discussion is about innovation and how we can make the Department of the Air Force the most innovative department within the Department of Defense and perhaps across the United States government. So, Elon, question number 1. When you put a weapon system or a product into production and you start delivering it to your customers, very, very frequently there is a pushback within the production organization that, you know, we don't want to change that product too much. It's successful. We have a lot of legacy systems that we're responsible for in the Department of the Air Force. There is a lot of reticence at times to incrementally improve or add new capabilities to those systems. From the context of Tesla and SpaceX, how do you motivate your workforce? How do you work with your customers? How do you work with technologists in your ecosystems, your various ecosystems, to try and make sure that products don't become stagnant and they continue to incrementally improve over time?
Sure. Well, first of all, thanks for having me here. It's an honor to be here with you and with everyone else from the Space/Air Force. We've obviously had a long relationship with the Air Force and very much appreciate the support over the years. So I just want to make sure to say that. And look forward to doing a lot of interesting things in the future. I think it's actually it's cool that there is that the creation of the Space Force is happening. I think it makes sense that there's a major branch for every domain, with that, so the domain of space and the domain of air are both important, but I think space is is certainly a medium of its own.
Sure.
And I think there's some very exciting things that are possible. If I may just say, like, what the public wants, I think, and actually I'm pretty confident that the public does want this, is Starfleet Academy. Like, yeah, like how do we make Star Trek real? That'd be pretty amazing. I'd love that. So I think like the fastest we can make sort of Starfleet real, then we should try to do that.
Well, so Elon,
yeah.
speaking for the United States Space Force, there already is a Starfleet Academy. It's the United States Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Sure. Nope, I've been there. I've given a talk, and the first launch of Falcon 1, we had a Falcon sat from the Air Force Academy. That rocket blew up, but but then the funny thing is that it blew up. Like, this truth is stranger than fiction. The satellite was shot through the fairing, arced through the air a couple hundred meters, and then plunged through the roof of a tool shed, and then landed on the floor. And was actually in reasonably good shape. I mean, for crashing through the ceiling.